Now, we all have that friend or family member in our life. I know I definitely have one or two that continually says 4K is really just a gimmick. There's really no point in 4K. I've even had people tell me that there's no real benefits or any differences at all between a Blu-ray and a 4K. If you know that person, then you definitely need to share this video with them. My Bloody Valentine came out on Blu-ray from Shaft Factory in 2020 with the unrated director's cut sourced from a new 4K restoration from the original 35mm negative. Just 3 years later, Shaft Factory gave My Bloody Valentine a UHD upgrade, sourced from the same 4K scan, but presented with HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading. So they're both sourced from identical 4K scans. And I've had many viewers out there message me on social media asking, is this 4K UHD really worth the upgrade? Because the Blu-ray already looked great. I had no problems with it. So I decided to go ahead and compare the 2020 Blu-ray against the 4K, except I had one small problem. Actually, it's a big problem. A couple years ago, I ended up selling off the 2020 Blu-ray because I knew this UHD was coming, and it was before I started doing these comparison videos. Otherwise, I would have held on to it for it. And I never want to just pirate, download a movie from a torrent, as I know some comparison channels do, unfortunately. And that's just not fair to the filmmaker or to you, because I want to give an honest comparison. And the only way to do that is by pulling images natively from the 4K UHD disc and the Blu-ray disc. So I reached out to you on social media and asked if anyone would be willing to donate the Blu-ray to this channel so I could do this comparison video. And a good buddy of mine reached out to me, and a friend of the channel, and he sent me his 2021 Blu-ray copy, which I don't have here. I just finished comparing it and I left it in the home theater room. But anyways, I wanted to give a huge thanks to Dimitrios. Thank you, man, because without your 2020 Blu-ray, this video wouldn't have been possible. So thanks so much for the contribution. Alright, so let's dig in and see if this UHD is really worth upgrading from your Blu-ray. Again, they're both sourced from the same 4K scan, so this is going to be an interesting comparison. I was super impressed by the remarkable upticks and improvements with this UHD, especially when compared to the Blu-ray. As you can clearly see here with the images on the UHD, it looks much cleaner, fresher, crisper, and brighter. This right here showcases the power of what 4K UHD can really do, even compared to a Blu-ray with the same 4K master, making this a significant upgrade from the 2020 Blu-ray release. Now, I want to talk about the insert shots that form the unrated cut. On the Blu-ray, these same shots appeared pretty rough around the edges, even appearing uneven with the trimming between the insert shots and the non-insert shots of the movie, along with noticeable shifting in color changes, the brightness as well, and also some instability. This 4K UHD has solved these issues, blending these shots much better here, where you can easily tell that more effort was made to even out the shots, along with color and brightness, and much more better stability, creating a much more satisfying version of the film watching it on 4K UHD. Another significant improvement is with the black levels and shadows. The movie mostly takes place at night and under low light conditions, with the entire third act taking place down in the bowels of the mine shaft. And while the Blu-ray didn't have any huge issues in this department, I did still notice some crushing, engulfing details, and even background objects, along with a slight grayish black in certain scenes. The difference here with this UHD is it takes all those black levels and takes it a step further, fully embracing the dark, gloomy, murky atmosphere of the movie, staying faithful to the original vision of the filmmakers. And this is where the HDR10 and Dolby Vision also comes into play. It really helps giving much better resolved black levels while also maintaining a naturally brighter image without any artificial brightening done. And what this has done is given a lot of those night scenes a much more authentic, truer to life look than the Blu-ray offered, and all the underground mine scenes look much better as well, with deeper inky blacks and richer shadows, again drawing out more details and colors and objects to the image. But now let's dive into the color reproduction. The HDR and Dolby Vision opens up the color gamut. This gives extra color depth that's very impressive, enhancing the color palette more, but never looking artificially boosted or too hot. The most notable upticks here is with all the bold candy reds with paint, red color of buildings, cars, and shirts, and especially the crimson blood reds that do appear much more natural and truer, deeper crimson red. Also, blues, yellows, greens, pinks, oranges all appear a bit more natural and warmer than on the Blu-ray. All of this really benefits the early 80s clothes, neon signs, and of course, all the bloody horror aftermath shots. And skin tones also appear slightly warmer, where on the Blu-ray, they had a slightly palish look to it. And now I got to talk about the detail levels, because the details are also much more revealing on this UHD. Of course, we have the higher 2160p resolution that gives more lines to the image, and this offers much more elevated and visibly sharper details, such as the close-up shot of the heart, the dead body in the dryer. All the carnage from the kills looks much more detailed as well. All of this looks much more revealing, where we can now see all the damage and gore. Also, signs are clearly legible, where on the Blu-ray they look slightly blurry. A really nice reference point here is down in the mine shaft, completely showcasing the set design, where we can now visibly see all the dust, cobwebs, even down to tiny cracks and imperfections of the mine walls, and also wood. All the details throughout the presentation looks tighter and sharper, or as sharp as early 80s low-budget lenses can provide, along with more added depth and three-dimensionality to the image, giving a more truer, lifelike image, and also some added spaciousness. It just looked fantastic. The bitrate ranges from 67, topping out around 98 Mbps, and the grain field looks about the same as on the Blu-ray, with a nice, fine, tight layer of 35mm grain, giving an excellent, beautiful filmic appearance. Alright, now let's get into the audio presentation of this 4K, and it does include the same DTS HD lossless stereo mono track as on the 2020 Blu-ray. So if you have the 2020 Shout Factory Blu-ray, then you already know how great this audio mix is. It sounds terrific. Alright, so my score for Shout Factory's 4K UHD presentation of My Bloody Valentine, I'm giving the video a 5 out of a 5 and the audio a 4 out of a 5. And this is definitely worth adding to your collection or upgrading from the previous Blu-ray. But now here's a real test. When you look at the differences here between the 4K and the previous release Shout Factory Blu-ray, which do you think looks better? Or do you see much comparison at all? Be part of the discussion and head over to the comment section and let me know. As always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out a few minutes here with me and comparing and talking about My Bloody Valentine, one of my favorite early 80s horror films. As always, guys, keep physical media alive. We'll see you next time.